by saying that our ongoing operations across the country have significantly diminished the military capabilities of terror groups operating in various theaters of operations. We have denied the terrorists the ability to carry out major offenses. What we mostly witness in the country today are low-level skirmishes and attacks which are more prevalent on soft targets. Nevertheless, we are aware that we are dealing with a shrewd, ruthless, and brutal enemy. Accordingly, we are prepared to act with the relevant level of force that will be needed to dismantle these terror groups in whatever form that they take across the country. Indeed, our strategy is to undermine the abilities of these terror groups, after which we create conditions whereby these terror groups cannot carry out terror on our citizens or harm them. To this end, we have prioritized targeting the terrorist leaders, their commanders, their foot soldiers, as well as their collaborators. Already, we have declared that all these group of persons, their leaders, their commanders, their agents are all dead men walking. When we say that, it's not a threat, but a fact, as we have indeed taken out several of these terrorist leaders and their commanders off the battlefield, as you will soon get to know. For instance, in the Northeast, in this month of August alone, we took out the following terrorist leaders and commanders: Muniru Ariba, Sani Daila, alias Dam Hausawa Jagulada, Amir Mudu, Dan Fulani Berikari, Bakura Araina Chink, Dunguzu Abu Dada, and Abu Ria. This is just to mention a few that were taken out in the Northeast. While in the Northwest, in this month of August alone, we have wiped out from the battlefield Kachala Dan Ali Garin Padam, Kachala Dan Mali Naina, Kachala Basiru Zakaria, Sani Bakra Singh, Inusa Zango Kuzi, Ibrahim Tukur, Kamilu Bazaru, and several others taken out in the Northwest in this month of August. I would say that troops have displayed stamina and have done a tremendous job of significantly dismantling these terror groups, particularly in the Northeast. Today, Boko Haram and the Islamic State West African province operating in the Northeast, they are a declining threat, even though they are still active within the their motivations are lower and lower each passing day, making it easy or easier for us to destroy their will to fight and eventually win it. In winning a war, you destroy destroy the enemy's will. And that's exactly what we're doing. As for the other theaters of operations, we are intensifying operations in the northwest, north central, southeast, and south-south. Our focus is to defeat and dismantle the threat posed by this territory. Now, let's take a look at the outcomes of our operations in the month of August. This month, troops neutralized 419 terrorists across all theaters of operations. They arrested 767 suspects while rescuing 448 kidnapped hostages. Additionally, troops recovered 278 weapons, recovered over 11,000 assorted ammunition, and denied the oil theft of an estimated sum of over 4 billion naira during the month of August 2024. The breakdown of our recoveries in the month as follows. We recovered 149 AK-47 rifles, 49 locally fabricated guns, and over 8,000 rounds of 7.62mm special ammunition, among other items recovered. Other recoveries may include over 3.7 million liters of stolen crude oil, over 800,000 liters of illegally refined ATO, and over 100 liters of DPK, and over 27,000 liters of PMS, among other items recovered in the course of our operations in the month of August. Now let me take you through our various operations, beginning with our operation in the Northeast operation Hadden Cave. The troops of Operation Hadden Cave remain focused on fighting terrorists and their cohorts across the Northeast theater of operations. The troops conducted offensive operations, striking at terrorist enclaves using air attacks, while the ground forces, on the other hand, have exerted significant military pressure on terrorists hibernating in their hideouts, in their strongholds and their enclaves. For instance, troops invaded terrorist enclaves in the Tumbunjira to be precise, and Araina, Suru, Jibilaram camps. It might interest you to know that these camps are around the Lake Chad region and are known strongholds of terrorist leaders and their commanders. During one of our encounter with the terrorists, troops killed 7 high-profile terrorist commanders and over 40 terrorist commanders. Overall, the troops of Operation Hadden Cave neutralized 237 terrorists, arrested 215 of them, and rescued 206 kidnapped hostages in the course of operations during the month of August. Additionally, troops recorded a total of 4,582 surrendered terrorist combatants and their families in the course of the month. Additionally, troops recorded the surrender of over 2,243 combatants. The summary of recovered items are as follows. 102 AK-47 rifles were recovered. Over 3,200 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition was recovered among several items recovered during the month of August 2024. We can now move over to the North Central, where we have Operation Safe Haven. The troops of Operation Safe Haven conducted offensive operations to dominate the theater of operation during the month of August. The troops conducted operations to strongholds, hideouts, and enclaves of violent extremists operating particularly in Plateau. Significantly, we recorded the following. 3 high-profile gun runners were arrested, namely Arayu Abdul Karim, alias Malam, Danladi, Kefas, and Williams Haruna. These persons were all arrested in the course of operations, and not the same operations. They were arrested in separate operations. Related, arrest was made of another notorious violent extremist and gun runner named Mala Hashim Ahmad in the local government area of Kaduna State. Furthermore, troops arrested a notorious kidnapper named Sebastian Caleb. He was arrested in Bokos local government area of Plateau State. Troops also intercepted and arrested several illegal miners in Jos North local government area of Plateau State, all in the course of the month of August. Overall, the troops of Operation Safe Haven neutralized 41 violent extremists, arrested 259 of them, and rescued 110 kidnapped hostages during the month of August. The troops of Operation Safe Haven also recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 16 assorted arms, and over 2,200 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition in the course of the month of August. Still in the North Central, let's go deeper as we look at Operation Wild Stroke. The troops of Operation Wild Stroke conducted several operations during the month of August. These operations range from search and rescue to raids to fighting patrols and several other forms of aggressive operations. The operational area for troops of Operation Wild Stroke spans from Benue to Tarama and Nasarawa states. And the purpose of these operations is definitely to defeat the terrorists operating in these areas and dismantle their terror infrastructure. These operations resulted in several arrests and recoveries. For instance, troops arrested some notorious gun runners, namely Nuhu, Dem Asabe, and Nungu. Now, these persons were arrested in Bukari metropolis of Taraba State. Similarly, troops arrested the terrorist commander and the gun runner named Ishaku Yusuf, alias Jamini. He was arrested in Bantaji Market in Taraba State. His arrest is among several other arrests that were made. Interestingly, a female gun owner was arrested at Buba Bridge, Motor Park. Troops equally arrested two other gun owners. One was arrested in Makodi, Benue State, while the other was arrested in Karo, local government area of Nasarawa State. You will see from our operations that indeed we are going after the terrorist leaders, their commanders, their foot soldiers, and their agents. Overall, the troops of Operation Wild Stroke neutralized 32 terrorists, arrested 77, and rescued 40 kidnapped hostages in the course of the month of August. The troops of Operation Wild Stroke also recovered 5 AK-47 rifles, 5 assaulted arms, and over 100 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammunition, among other items recovered in the course of the month of August. We can now cross over to the northwest, where we have Operation Handle Daji. During the month of August, the troops of Operation Handle Daji neutralized over 110 terrorists, arrested 89, and rescued 165 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations. Additionally, the troops of Operation Handle Daji recovered 16 AK-47 rifles, 28 assault arms, and 432 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special ammo, among other items recovered in the course of the month of August. Now to the Operation Wild Punch, still in the northwest. The troops of Operation Wild Punch recorded the following in the month of August. The troops neutralized 59 terrorists, arrested 208, and rescued 47 kidnapped hostages in the course of their operations. The troops also recovered 19 AK-47 rifles, 14 assaulted arms, and over 2,000 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special, among other items recovered in the course of the month. Now to the south, where we have Operation Delta Safe. The troops of Operation Delta Safe maintained the momentum against the activities of perpetrators of crude oil theft. The troops continued to find and destroy illegal refining sites, as well as arrest the perpetrators of crude oil theft. Our operations in the course of the month spiked the nation's daily crude oil production to cross the 1.5 million barrels per day mark. Nevertheless, as part of our operational efforts, troops are urging for more transparency by the international oil companies operating in the region, transparency with the deployment of accurate metering system. Troops are also seeking cooperation of stakeholders in the oil sector, as well as cooperation of the local communities. Importantly, troops are also monitoring the prosecution of culprits arrested perpetrating crude oil theft. This is recognized as critical in the fight against crude oil theft. And we believe that the combination of all these actions and activities will surely enable our operations to hit and cross the 2 million barrel per day mark, which is the target of our country. Now, during the month of August, the troops of Operation Delta Sea arrested 54 persons involved in crude oil theft. The troops also denied the oil theft of over 3.7 million liters of crude oil, over 800,000 liters of AGO, otherwise known as diesel, over 100 liters of DPK, otherwise known as kerosene, and over 27,500 liters of PMS, otherwise known as petrol. Furthermore, the troops of Operation Delta Sea recovered 163 assorted ammunition. They destroyed 94 wooden boats, as well as 339 illegal refining sites in the course of their operations in the month of August. Now to the southeast, where we have Operation Udoka. The troops of Operation Udoka conducted offensive operations against the indigenous people of Biafra and their Eastern Security Network terror group in the southeast states. Now, the operations conducted targeted killing terrorists as well as arresting them. It also recorded recoveries of arms and ammunition in the month of August. Our operations against the indigenous people of Biafra and their Eastern Security Network cohorts were recorded in Abia, Anambra, Ebonyi, Imo, and Enugu states. And what I mean by that is, in the course of the month, we had activities of these groups that we had carried out operations in those states to overcome them. Troops in the course of the month also intercepted and arrested indigenous people of Biafra and their Eastern Security Network terror elements on several encounters. Significantly in Ohafia and Aguata local government areas of Abia State and Anambra State, respectively. Similarly, troops intercepted and arrested indigenous people of Biafra and their Eastern Security Network terrorist collaborator in Olu local government area of Imo State. The troops of Operation Udoka equally conducted operations to curb crude oil theft within their area of responsibility. Several arrests and recoveries were made as a result of these operations. Overall, the troops of Operation Udoka neutralized 21 terrorists, arrested 59, and rescued 17 kidnapped hostages in the course of the month of August. Additionally, the troops of Operation Udoka recovered 10 assaulted arms, 45 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO ammunition, over 90 live cartridges, and 69 assorted ammunition in the course of their operations in the month of August. Now, to summarize, would say that the motivation of the terrorists is getting lower and lower, particularly in the northeast, as I earlier mentioned. This is responsible for the surrendering that we are recording in the northeast. Now it is time for us to replicate this in other theaters of operation, and troops are committed to achieving this. The troops are also on a high alert as we have increased our readiness to protect the country from further terrorist aggression. Now, I've said this severally, but I need to say it one more time. We must understand that this war is not a quick fix, but a long and enduring military operation of which, at the end, these terrorists will be destroyed and we will have a safer nation. Counterterrorism operation is an operation such that it's not a sprint, but a marathon. We understand that this war has gone on for so long, but we are committed to ending it, as we know that we are closer to the end than from the beginning when it all started. Thank you very much. All right. Let's go now to watching some of the clips that I have for you today. You can see our air operations across the various areas of operations. Now, on the 21st and the 24th, the air component of Operation Halloween conducted air interdiction to terrorist enclaves in Zambo and BTAs in Kankara and Damusa local government area of Katsina State. The air clips that you're watching showcase the targets being acquired and engaged by air interdiction by air component of Operation Halloween. Still in Operation Halloween regarding area of responsibility or theater of operation. This location is Beachy Hills in Damusa local government area of Katsina State. After painstaking intelligence surveillance and reconnaissance to identify terrorist presence and activities, the target is acquired and engaged. Battle damage assessments revealed that several terrorists, their commanders, and their food soldiers, as well as their infrastructure, were destroyed as a result of the air interventions that were carried out. All these people that you see at this location are all terrorists. They are all terrorists. Now, also on the 21st of August, the air component of Operation Wild Punch conducted air interdiction missions over terrorist camps at Malu Forest in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. After painstaking intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance to identify terrorist presence and activities, the location is acquired and subsequently attacked with cannons and rockets, destroying the terrorist ammunition at the location, as well as their food soldiers and their infrastructure. So now let us look at how the air component is really helping our operations, particularly in the Niger Delta region. Like I mentioned earlier, we have recorded a monumental spike in crude oil production of our nation, crossing over 1.5 million barrels per day mark. We know that we are not there yet, but we shall be there sooner than later. Our target is 2 million barrels per day mark and possibly exceeding. These eclipse watching are on illegal refining sites in the Niger Delta area. Interestingly, you can get there faster by air because before the ground troops are getting to the location, they have to go in boats and whatever means to get there. But from the air, you sight it and then take it out. And by doing that, it is giving us the kind of results that we want to see. You just take it out. You just take them out, blow them up. So the clip that you just watched is air condition in Degema local government area of River State, among several other local governments in which air conditions are being used. these interdictions are so effective because there's no discussion with anybody. You cite it, blow it up. Whoever is there shouldn't be there. If he's killed, it's better for everybody. One of the clips that, or the one that one of the clips that I watched earlier was for interdiction that was conducted in Egbema, Ohaji, Omoku, and Asa in Imo State. Like I mentioned during my brief, there is crude oil theft also going on within that operation, local area of responsibility. It's not only in that Niger Delta area. Now people have found they have found pipes to puncture wellheads around the area of Operation Doka. So Operation Doka is also involved in curbing crude oil theft because of their operations. Okay, I think that ends the clips. Okay, so we can now go to the next segment of this engagement, which is the all important question and answer session. I will begin, I think, with questions from Alex. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
One sir, my name is Bronson.
Yeah, please, sir.
My question is related to the activities that have been reported in some of those states, which actually to build death of the national level was supposed to be reported that the number of persons that are 140, 150 were killed. What's the response to that?
Yeah.
Yes. So, sometime back you mentioned that troops are going to be deployed to farmlands to ensure food security. May I ask if there's an update on that, sir, and if the military is working with sister agencies? And then secondly, you mentioned that troops will be monitoring prosecution of crude oil content. Can you expatiate more on this?
Oh, yes.
Morning, sir. My name is Joseph, and I write for Young Independent Newspapers. So since 2019, the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Shiites, was proscribed by the federal government. But this organization has continued to operate in Nigeria, most part of Nigeria, in that unchecked. Just as Sunday, they attacked some police officers at Muslim market, around Muslim market, which resulted in the death of two of them, four still critically in the hospital. I want to ask this question, sir. Why is the military not stepping in to stop the activities of this organization, which has stopped all its fighting other proscribed groups in Nigeria? And I also noticed that even the military, the security agencies, and the media hardly refer to this group as terrorist group, the same way they are calling other proscribed groups terrorist groups. Why?
It will be recalled that the President gave the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.D. Musa, the marching orders to ensure that good oil theft is curbed and that the nation beats its mark of 2 million barrels per day in the nation's crude oil production. Since then, the military put several factors in place to ensure that we meet up with that directive. And these are some of the factors that we put in place. First is we established a unified command system whereby all the security and control. Next was to improve our surveillance of the pipelines and the oil infrastructure within the Niger Delta region, particularly the wellheads and others. Then we began to monitor the point of loading to the point of discharge of the vessels that come to take crude oil. Then we started collaboration with stakeholders in the crude oil, or let's say in the oil sector, and also engagement with the local community, which are all very important if we are to achieve our mission. And most important is the issue of the prosecution of culprits that are arrested applicating crude oil theft. You know that we as military don't prosecute, but we will monitor to see that when persons are arrested and handed over, those cases go through to the very end. And this is what I mean by monitoring, to see that those that have been arrested are true and true prosecuted to the very end. Next, I'll talk about farmlands. Some time back, I believe in April, thereabout, I did make mention that we have rejigged our operations to be able to accommodate us providing protection for farmers in the farmland. The timing was at the offset of the rainy season, so that, as we know, we are faced with the issue of food in the country. And what better way to begin to address that issue than to make it possible for our farmers to go to the farm. So we will provide protection for them to be able to go to the farm and farm. And this is so that when the time comes, we will have a bumper harvest and it will address the food issues that we are faced with in the country today. We have this going on in several of our theaters of operation, particularly at the stress in the northern part of the country, because that is where we have been faced with these challenges mostly. Now, sadly, the people of Buba lost the traditional group to a very vicious and brutal group, terrorists. We consider this a tragedy, and our heart goes out to the people. For us, as a force, we remain determined to continue to destroy and defeat the terrorists and neutralize their terror infrastructure, diminish their military capabilities, their administrative and logistic capabilities. We have seen also the videos on social media where the people have gone into the forest that they are going to recover persons that were abducted. From inquiries that I've made on the ground, I have not gotten any positive feedback that indeed persons totally 150 were abducted. I have not received any feedback on that. But what I will say is this: winning the war against this kind of groups that we are faced with, these terrorist groups that we are faced with, is not just for the military, our equipment, or even finances. It largely depends on people. If the people of this country say today, no more terrorism, believe me, there will be no more terrorism. When I watched that video, I was moved. And I wish all Nigerians would be moved to taking the bull by the horn as we go against this terrorist. How many are they compared to us? If it's bullets that they have, how many do they have compared to what we have? I repeat it again. Winning this war is not just about the military, our equipment, or finances. It largely depends on the people. Oh, lastly, is this Shiite Islamic movement. How do we call it? Yes, Islamic movement of Nigeria. I totally agree that this group have been proscribed. I totally agree that this group are likened to a terrorist group. And I totally agree that this group should be treated as such for what they are. Just about a week ago, they killed security forces. Unprovoked attacks. We will not accept this. We will not accept this. And believe me, we are doing something about it. Okay. Yes, let's go to the right side.
Emmanuel Ismail. I write for the Nigerian Times. Recently, we've seen trending videos on the social media, particularly on TikTok and on X, of bandits and terrorists brandishing loot, the financials of their kidnapped for ransom, as it was captioned on the videos. I don't know if the military is aware of this, and if the military is aware what efforts are being made to, trace these persons and, get them neat. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, General. John Mokocha, first to be with narrative. Just yesterday, still talking about the insecurity situation in North-West. Yesterday, a group of Zamfara indigenous were in Sokoto to register their displeasure over what had been going on in Zamfara State in terms of insecurity. The level it is generated. Now, a government official was quoted as saying that the bandits are from your state, that's referring to Zamfara indigenous, saying that the bandits are flowing from Zamfara. So if that's the information that we have, does that speak to often quoted mantra, see something, say something? And to what extent could this information help in the operations of the troops?
Okay. Yes.
Good morning, sir. My name is Aki Oyewan. I'm reporting for Lord sir. My question is just additional to what being worrisome, the presence of this and their report on social media. What is armed forces of Nigeria doing about this? Because Nigerians are worried, being bold to come to open and display some of their activities on social media. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, troops are fighting simultaneously in various theaters of operation. Now, these operations have different levels of intensity, and it's more intense when we look at the northeast to the northwest and the north section. Particularly in the Niger Delta area, we have increased intensity because we want to meet up with the crude oil production target for the nation. Now, who are we fighting? We are fighting an enemy that has taken up different forms in different parts of the country. But this enemy for us is one, the terrorists. You may want to see that some people, when they're talking, they say bandits, some people will say headers, some people will give other kinds of names. Take it from me, they are all terrorists. Because what they do is carry out acts of terror against our citizens and against our nation. Now, if they be terrorists, then we, as a military, will bring overwhelming military force upon them to destroy them, take out their leadership, their commanders, their foot soldiers, and indeed annihilate them from the surface of the earth. I will take a look at what you have mentioned about some of them brandishing loots recovered from whatever way they got it, mostly thought to be ransom that have been paid. And I will say to that winning this war without the support of the people is close to impossible. These persons that we have seen on social media brandishing their loot, I would say belong in two categories. First, is they are not ghosts. They are proven to us that they are not ghosts. So they come from a family, they come from a home, they come from a community, they come from a state. They have brothers, they have sisters. People know them. Those who know them, what are they doing to assist security forces to get to them? We as a force, we are not spirits. I have said it severally that you see something, you say something. And I even modified it. I said that more people know than those who see. So if you know something, you say something, and we will do something about it. That is what I have to say. We need to get to those people, and people know them. So they should tell us something, so we can get to them. Now the other aspect is that, have you watched some of those videos? And if you watch them closely, you will see that some of those persons are Nigerians. So what does that tell us? It tells us that we are dealing with transnational jihadists. And this takes us to why we have the multinational joint task force that we have in Jamina. But now we can see that they are coming at us towards the Sokoto axis. Because they come in, we go after them, and they run out. What I'll say to that is that we have operational flexibility. We have noted it, and we have operational flexibility. And that is the ability for us to direct our forces to meet our strategic objectives. And that is exactly the adjustments that we are making in our operations in order to address the situation. Did I miss a question? Thank you very much. Okay, so that brings us to the end of today's session. I will request that we stand up and observe the moment.
For 1 minute, and I assure you that next briefing by the military, GTV will be bringing it to you, and you are not going to miss anything. It's about an hour now. Please, as we come.
May the souls of our departed heroes rest in perfect peace.
Well, till I come your way again, I'm Wimiga Olamiko. Thank you for being there. If you are yet to subscribe, kindly subscribe and be part of this.
You guys sit down.